Namaskar guys, welcome to the Upasana IS Academy. Myself Upasana Sareen, and guys, today I am going to discuss about the revival of SARC. Okay, and guys, this topic is very important for the GS second International Relation UPSC mains examination. And guys, please listen this lecture very carefully, because in this lecture I am going to try out to make the strategic view as well as what the today's the Hindu editorial is speaking about the revival of SARC. Okay, so this topic is important for the mains examination. Okay guys, so try to listen it, then you will give the answer which I will speak in the last of this video. Okay, so the first is we will discuss in this video about the SARC and BIMSTEC. Okay, the first thing is, what do you mean by SARC? What is the means of BIMSTEC and how it is globally important for India. Okay. Second is we will talk about why the importance of revival. Okay. Then what is the need? What are the challenges of SARC revival? And after it, what is the way ahead? Okay, so these are the things which we will discuss in this video. Okay, so guys, first you have to understand about the SARC and BIMSTEC. What do you mean by SARC? The SARC, full form of SARC is South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Okay, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Guys, actually this was established in 1985. 1985, and the SARC was established, and the basically main member of SARC was SARC is India. Okay, just try to make out the map of India in front of your eyes. Okay, use your imagination power. The first is India, second is Nepal, Bhutan, then Bangladesh, then Sri Lanka, Maldives, Pakistan, Afghanistan. Okay, so these are the member countries of SARC. Please guys remember, Myanmar is not a member of SARC, and SARC is very important for India because we are connected with the neighboring country, with the South Asian countries with respect to the SARC, and SARC is important for the trading and dialogue partner, etc. And if we are talking about the BIMSTEC, guys, you might be hear about the BIMSTEC, okay, in the newspaper because it oftenly came. So what is the full form of BIMSTEC? BIMSTEC is Bay of Bengal Initiative of Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. I hope you remember this full form. The Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. Okay, so BIMSTEC was established in 1997. So what are the founding members? What are the founding countries of BIMSTEC? Guys, you can remember, I can give you a trick that how you remember all these things. B is represented Bangladesh, I is India, M is Myanmar, S is Sri Lanka, T is Thailand, then Nepal, Bhutan. Okay, you remember these are the countries because these question came in UPSC prelims paper. Which of the following is a member country of BIMSTEC, or which of the following is a member country of SARC? So these kind of question will come in the UPSC examination. Okay, so now the next thing is, after talking about the BIMSTEC and SARC, we get to know about that what do you mean by BIMSTEC and what do you mean by SARC. Now the next is how the SARC and BIMSTEC is important. Guys, SARC is talking about the inter-regional. It's actually the regional cooperation. Okay, regional cooperation means the India have the good relationship with the neighboring country, and it is the collaboration of the neighboring country to talk about the further prospect, to talk about the trade, to talk about the dialogue and economic cooperation, the trading cooperation and international relation and so on. Okay, and if we are talking about the BIMSTEC, BIMSTEC is basically focus on the ocean area, Bay of Bengal ocean area. So we can say it is within the regional cooperation. Within the regional cooperation means it is the area which is nearest to the Bay of Bengal. So you can see that Thailand and Thailand is actually the Southeast Asian country. Okay, so it is very important for the geopolitical aspect of India. Okay, and second thing is SAARC and BIMSTEC. These two are important for the concern of India, right? The SAARC did the trading pattern approximately 5%. Approximately 5%. And if we are talking about the BIMSTEC, it has done approximately 6%. So these are the trading pattern. No doubt the BIMSTEC have the very good relationship with each other. And if we are talking about the SAARC, SAARC अभी बात करेंगे SAARC की. If we are talking about the SAARC countries are like there are some politics is going on. Up politics, what kind of politics we are speaking about, that we will see here. Okay, so now the next is we get to know about what is the SAARC, what is the BIMSTEC. We get to know about what is the importance. Okay, now the next point is why the revival of SAARC is necessary. Why the revival? Guys, please listen it carefully. You know all, the SAARC has been went into the ICU from 2015. Why it went to the ICU in 2015? Because you know there was the complete agitation between the India and Pakistan. The India trying to make the isolation of Pakistan internationally by putting up the terrorism things. Have you seen the Uri attack and all that has been happened, and India wanted to make Pakistan with a global picture that how Pakistan is doing in the field of terrorism. But if we are speaking about what is the reality, you all are known, the Pakistan is not actually isolated internationally. The first you can see the Islamic Organization Cooperation, they are with the Pakistan, the solid bond of China and Pakistan, as well as we can say the USA is also doing the trading partner with the Pakistan, and some other countries like Afghanistan and other small countries, they are also doing the trade with the Pakistan. So India actually make the intention in the global scenario to make the isolation of Pakistan. That is why the FATF has been happened. That you all are well aware about the October and November report of FATF. That FATF talking about the separation, the Pakistan has been went into the dark grey list, and it was said the Pakistan can be declared as a blacklist in FATF if the terrorism activity would not be stopped by the Pakistan. So due to the coronavirus, the meeting has been postponed. Now it again came into the newspaper in June newspaper. You can see the FATF declared the Pakistan remain as a grey list. So grey list is what? The grey list is just actually a warning sign to the Pakistan, then don't do indulge in the terrorism activity. If you indulge in the terrorism activity, then you will given a blacklist, and once you are given the blacklist by the FATF, then you are isolated in the world. Then you have no power to make the connection, make the economic and dialogue connection with the other countries. Like you can see the North Korea as well as Iran, these two countries are came into the blacklist of FATF. So these are the things. Okay, so India actually from the 2015, due to the rising of conflict of India and Pakistan, the India wanted to make the Pakistan globally isolated. Okay, but in reality the Pakistan has not been isolated yet. This is reality. Okay, so actually this whole video is based upon the opinion for the UPSC mains prospect. And now the next thing is we get to know about the India and Pakistan, they both have the conflict. The SAARC put up into the ICU from 2015, you all are well aware about it. Okay, the regular contention of India and Pakistan. So at last what happened? At last India did not want to do trade with the Pakistan. and similarly the same thing happened from both the sides. And at last we can say Narendra Modi said we want the revival of SARC because India is not intentionally to do work with the Pakistan. Due to the terrorism activity, due to the attack of sovereignty and integrity of India. But in the SARC you can see the SARC, the member countries are India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan. These are the member countries. So still in this SARC, the India have to make the trade with the Pakistan, have to make the dialogue with the Pakistan. And due to the conflict, the India did not want to do it in escalation mode. So this is what the actually need of revival of SARC. Now guys, we have to look the other prospect of this revivalism. Try to understand. On the one way, there is a China. The China's policy is a expansionism. The expansionism means the China used to enhance its size like dragon, and it absorbed the little countries. How it absorbed the little country? To put them into the debt trap, to give them the debt, to give them the some subsidies. So these countries could not able to return it back to the China. So ultimately it is what it is. It is like they came into the trap of China, and this is how the China enhanced its size. That is why the China is called as a dragon in the Asia. And the one more thing is, you can see the South China Sea. The China claims its sovereignty over the South China Sea. The China says many times, don't put any argument against of South China Sea, because South China Sea belongs to the China. This is what the mentality of China is. And China, you can see the seizing of Tibet, the sovereignty claim over the Tibet, the sovereignty claim over the Hong Kong, the sovereignty claim over the Taiwan, the so many undemocratic way, the expansionary way. So now come to the point. The China is using the expansionary policy. The China made the good relationship with the Pakistan. And how kind of relationship it is? It is deeper than the ocean, higher than the sky, and solid than the mountain. The relationship is like this. Okay. And second thing you can see, the China make the good relationship with Afghanistan, make the good relationship with the Nepal. There is a very close relationship with the Nepal, and China is now moving to the Bangladesh. And why it moving to the intensified relationship with the Bangladesh? Because the China want again near with the India, and the same thing is why? Because the geographical structure. What the China is doing? The China gave the 81% tariff relaxation on the Bangladeshi product. The China want to intensify the Bangladesh trade with China. So you can see the countries which is the Southeast Asian countries, the Thailand, Myanmar, Afghanistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Nepal, and Pakistan, Sri Lanka having the close relationship with the China, and these countries are wooing and intensify their relationship with the China. So these are the things. And now we came to the present situation. The present situation is the contention of border. The contention of border with the China and India. The India and China contention, one side is a border tension, second is a COVID-19 pandemic. In this thing, and what the India has done what? Similarly the digital strike. But on the one way, we can say that digital strike is just a way, but we cannot say digital strike is a tool or weapon. We can say yes, we can just give a push to the China, but in the next video we will see that what are the consequences which are faced by the India after this stopping of all the trade import. Okay, we will discuss, because once the opinion can be set by the viewpoint, and the viewpoint can be given by both pros and cons, then you can understand what the situation is actually. This is how the dialogue can be done. This is the one thing. Okay, and second thing is, you know all that how the China make the relationship with the other countries, the Southeast Asian countries, the ASEAN countries, the SAARC countries. But the main problem with China is the geographical structure, because the geographical structure of India and China, due to the Mount Everest, that is why Nepal is important for China, but Nepal is ultimately a landlocked country. The landlocked country means the Nepal have to make the good relationship with the India, and once India will do the blockage with the Nepal, then how China will give the goods and production to the Nepal? Either by the Mount Everest way, but the Mount Everest way is not so much convenient. You understand? Second thing is, what are the challenges? In the challenges, we can say there are basically the two challenges. Okay, the first challenge is the revival of SAARC due to the Bangladeshi migrant, due to the anti-Islamic phobic, due to the anti-Pakistan things. So somewhere, due to the migrants and due to the Pakistan, the India have somewhere affect with the relationship. So we can say the revivalism is going to be a challenge. And the second thing is what our Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi ji said, the Atmanirbhar Bharat. The Atmanirbhar Bharat is talking about what? It talks about we are going to be self-reliant. So government and its ministry said clearly that India want to cut down its imports from the other nation. So once India cut down the import from the other nation, ultimately we have no way. So where we have to go? We have to be depend upon the own goods, own Swadeshi goods, own self-reliant goods and products. Even you can see the yesterday TikTok has been banned, and now the Chingari, which is a Swadeshi app, which is the Indian app, that has been hit and downloaded 5 lakh by the users. Now you can see. So these are the something which make the challenge for the revivalism of SAARC. Okay. And the second thing is, now come to the way ahead. How we have to frame the question. How we have to frame the answer. In the way ahead, we can say we have to give the positive and futuristic direction to the answer. Despite of all these challenges, the India came to know about how we can survive in the worst situation, how India can become the self-reliant, because everyone knows the invention is the mother of necessity. So now the next thing is, we can say like the futuristic approach is ultimately the way. No doubt the India will face some import challenges, some disintegration and some structural problem of India due to the breakdown and cut off of India and China trade, no doubt. But still, once we have no way, we will depend upon ourselves, we will become the self-reliant. So this is not going to be worse, it will be the way that how India can become an industrious country in the future 2030, 2040. Okay. So guys, this is how you can frame this answer. And the question now I am giving you, please write the question and you can use these things into your answer. The question is, as the COVID-19 pandemic is going on, plus border tension between India and China, amid of this tension, the revival of SAARC is necessity, which is raised by the PM of India. Justify with your argument. Would you are support the argument, the revival of SAARC, or not? What is your validity or invalidity with the statement? Justify it. Okay, 150 words or 250 words, it is depend. You can write it in 250 words. Okay, so this is the whole about the revival of SAARC. Okay guys, I hope you like this video. Thank you so much.